My in-laws built the Holler House, 1908, and I've been here 60 years. And the bowling alley was built with the bar, and then we got bowling just about every night of the week. Of course, we got pinboys. We don't have an automatic down here, and they're the oldest in the nation. You know that. And we get a lot of tourists. They ask the dumbest questions. And we like about every other Saturday we had a busload coming in, you know. Then they'll say, well, how do you bowl on two bowling alleys? Well, how would you bowl on two if no one different than bowling on any other alley? So I tell them, you put one leg on one alley, put the other leg on the other alley, and throw the ball. She said, oh, you do that, Abby. She believe me. Can you picture anybody doing that? Oh no, we have league bowling. We have league bowling on Tuesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays, Sundays. Like Friday, we had a big thing was a party. And then they bowl like small tournaments. Well, the two alleys, you can't have anything else, you know. And then my son-in-law will put a camcorder down here, and then they'll watch it upstairs. The rest of the bowlers that are down here, you can't get them all here, down here at once. He was in the Holler House till about 40 years ago. It was Gene and Marcy's. And a man came in here one night, and he wanted somebody to drink with. And he says, my wife's in California. He said, would you get drunk with me? And I said, why not? What the heck? So then the following week, he brought his wife in. He said, I gotta take you to a place. And when he brought her in, there was a political convention on, and everybody's arguing politics, and somebody's playing that beat up piano, and the jukebox is going, she knew where to look. She was a little German lady. So the following week, he asked her, where would you like to go for a couple cocktails before I take you to dinner? She'd take me to that Holler House. And everybody started calling it the Holler, and I said to my husband, why don't we just name it the Holler House? And that's how it got to be the Holler House. Oh, about 45 years ago, my friends and I were drinking. We decided to take our clothes off. My husband almost killed me. And we started hanging up our bras, and then the first time a gal walks in here, the first time she's been here, takes her bra off and signs it and hangs it up. And then when we had our 100th, we had the street clothes off, we had a polka band on and all kinds of stuff. Then they took the old bras down because they were full of smoke, and they were really, they were hanging there for over 40 years. And the bras up there now are a new batch. We came home, my son-in-law started taking them down, so we might get fined. I went downtown to appeal it, and they just ignored me completely. And they just kept typing, and I said, I'm sorry. Then I called Jim Stengel, and I know Jim. And I said, I got a story for you, I'm so mad. And he said, let me have that story. Then he called the alderman called the commissioner, and then we had all the channels here, every, 4, 6, 7, 58 came down. TV stations, and that's when it really grew up. And then we had the rehanging party, and we had so many people here, they had to take the furniture out of here to fit the people in here. And then when they hung them back up, the girls had to put money in a jug, and we got almost $1,000 for breast cancer. And we get a lot of new people now since we got all that publicity, with the paper. And then I was in American Airline magazine, and then I was in Sports Illustrated, and when you get that kind of coverage, well, naturally people come here. And then there was a book out, the bars in Milwaukee. And then we had a thing going with Esquire. Now they have a TV station, and they did me on that. It's a historical place, and I'm not in the historical. I'm not on a board or anything like that, because once you have an historical building, you can't even put a nail in it without getting approval from them. So we don't care if it was that. We get a lot of people in here though. We get them from all over the country. And when the big bowlers come in town, then they'll even come down here and televise. They won't bowl regular games, they just throw balls and stuff, just so they say you bowl on the oldest alleys, Everybody asks me, when are you going to retire? I said, to retire to what? I travel, and I'm not going to sit there and knit, or I don't even know how to knit. and be in some, like I go to some of my friends' places, like Florida, what you call them? What do you call them? The villages. That's for old people, you know. And I like to be with, we got young people and older people coming in. We got a lot of nice young kids, you know. But to sit there and then I go, and then they have these little community things and everybody line dances and they clap and sit there and I'm saying, oh boy, this is just what I'd like. And then I was going out with a man and he wanted to get married, but he had this big porch and he had squirrel feeders. Honest to God, they sat on a little bench and they chopped on a top of cart and the birds were flying around. He says, isn't this beautiful? Ooh. Can you picture me sitting on a porch watching the birds and the squirrels? Oh my God.